Hello everyone. Let's wait for around 2 to 3 minutes before starting the webinar. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our webinar where we'll be diving deep into the SBI Youth for India Fellowship application process 2024-25. And I'm Yogavi. I'm part of the Youth for India team and also an alumna of batch 2018-19. And I'm thrilled to be your moderator for today's webinar. So I'm sure most of us are very curious about the SBI Youth for India Fellowship as it is one of the most prestigious fellowship in the country. And we'll discuss that in detail today. We have with us today Mr. Gyan Prakash, Program Head, Youth for India Fellowship, who is also an SBI Youth for India Fellow of batch 2015-16. He is an alumnus of IIT Kharagpur and BIT Meshra Ranchi. He has more than 14 years of experience working across industries, including a decade in the development sector. Sir will guide us through the entire application process, providing valuable tips to enhance the application. Drop your questions in the chat and we'll try to address them one by one. Sir, before going ahead with the Q&A, kindly share with us an overview of the fellowship, its mission and objectives.
Thank you, Yogi, and good evening, everyone. When we started fellowship in 2011, we were very clear that there is a gap between urban and rural India. And the goal was to provide a platform for urban youth so that they get opportunity to go to village, spend time with the villager, try to understand the people and place, and also while spending time in the village, also try to contribute in their limited capacity. We also wanted to give a chance to urban youth so that they can try doing some work in a thematic area which is close to their heart. At times, when we complete our graduation, and after completing the graduation, after working in industry for a few years, we realize that our heart is not aligned with the kind of work we are doing, and we want to change the sector. And few of us we want to explore the development sector. So we were looking for a platform which gives the youth to change the sector, to get the opportunity without being judged on their educational qualification. So the goal is very clear on that front, to utilize the good human resource who are passionate, who wants to contribute, and leverage that in the nation building. At the other end, the goal is also to give them the mentorship during the fellowship period so that they develop their professional knowledge about nitty-gritty of the development sector.
Thank you, sir. It's so happy to see 400 plus viewers in the live. So there are many questions coming up. So before that, so can you please share us what are the key features of the program as an applicant should know about?
So the program is having very simple but very important objective. We are looking for passionate people who wants to contribute to development sector, especially in rural development. And when it comes to our program, when we started in 2011, there were 3 prominent fellowships in the industry. Right now, you can see many more fellowships in the ecosystem, which is great. We believe that many more program brings us the option to the youth, and they can choose from those opportunities. However, in our program, we try to give the freedom to the fellow to choose the thematic area. If I can give an example, suppose someone is doctor and that person has joined the fellowship uh, as a internal process, which is very clear that we are not going to force this doctor to do a project in health only. It will be the fellow's choice whether the fellow wants to do project in health or livelihood, or if that person, the doctor, is very passionate about climate change, that person can also choose the project in environment protection. So the past education qualification, past work experience, that is not going to define the project which our fellows are going to do. Uh, the passion, the interest, the, uh, the goal which they want to achieve during the fellowship, I think is the personal choice that will define the thematic area in which they are going to do the project. So this is very one important aspect of our program, and we believe so. Now, another important program is we understand that when you are changing the thematic area, suppose I was software engineer, and when I was doing fellowship in 2015-16, literally I was not having any clue about the development sector. So we put a lot of effort in mentoring such fellow, and also we are very mindful that when it comes to the actual outcome, there can be some missed milestone also. But what matters is whether the person is passionate and putting effort toward achieving those milestones. So that kind of mentor ecosystem where a lot of handholding is required, so that person is also comfortable in their journey, fellowship journey. That's very important part of our fellowship program. So apart from the project, a lot of focus uh, is giving a rich fellowship experience, fellowship journey. Uh, so that's something very crucial to our program.
Understood, sir. So there are many questions coming regarding selection criteria and the recommendations. Before going that, we want to understand. So there are NGO partners with the program. So how many NGO partners we have currently in the program?
So our we what we believe is the fellow, when they are going to the field, the NGO, they play very important role on the ground, and it is very important that NGO have you know very strong presence on the ground so that they can provide the necessary support uh, on the field. And that's why we are very particular when it comes to choosing the partner NGO. And if you see the list of our partner NGO, existing partner NGO, there are 13 of them, and all of them are very reputed organizations, and they are doing wonderful work on the ground. And they value our partnership, they value the contribution being made by our fellow. So when it comes to partner NGO, the whole approach is to find a partner having very strong presence on the ground, and who is also having the ecosystem, relevant ecosystem to support our fellow, and also give them the right mentorship, guidance, and also the freedom to choose the right thematic area.
So, along with the partner NGOs, you're talking about the thematic areas. So, what are the major thematic areas which fellowship is focusing on?
Sure. Uh, if you see the industry, there are a lot of focus on education, health, and livelihood. But we go beyond these three prominent thematic area. Our fellow, they are currently working in 12 thematic areas. So uh, any fellow who are going to join our fellowship, they will have the scope of working in 12 thematic area. Education, health, livelihood is one of the three uh, thematic area we talked about. And apart from that, we have social entrepreneurship, where they can start some small level business. And we have water, Self-governance, someone interested in environment, they can go for project in environment as well. And we have women empowerment, we have alternate energy, technology. So we have a whole list of, a very holistic list of 12 thematic area in which fellow can do the work.
So there are many questions regarding eligibility criteria. So what is the eligibility criteria of the fellowship, and according to you, who is the ideal candidate for the program?
So we kept the eligibility criteria very simple, because the education and work experience is kind of not the primary uh, factor. So any graduate, irrespective of the specialization, they are eligible. When it comes to age limit, it is 21 to 32 years. Initially, the fellowship was open for only Indian youth, but we received a lot of demand, and now it is open for overseas citizen of India as well, and citizen of Nepal and Bhutan. So citizenship, age, and on education front, the graduation. I think these three are very basic criteria, and anyone who is meeting these three criteria, I think they can definitely apply for our fellowship.
So there are some questions regarding the eligibility criteria as well. So I'm just putting it up. So there are the question where, as a background from social background, like development sector, whether they can apply for the fellowship.
Correct. So the whole objective, because if you look at this program, what we are trying to do, basically we are trying to give a platform to urban youth so that they can explore the development sector, they can explore the rural ecosystem. So anyone who is already in development sector, who is working with NGO, I think for them this fellowship might not be very fruitful. However, someone who is not already into the development sector, they are not working full time with any NGO, any CSR foundation, and they want to explore the development sector and see how it works, what is how the system works, what kind of work we are doing, and what is the style of working. I think it will be more suitable and fruitful for those people who has not entered completely into development sector. There are a few people who are volunteering. They have done part-time engagement. They are doing some volunteer work on weekend or monthly basis. I think for them it is definitely recommended because they have done this part-time engagement. Now it is right time to move to the next level where you are going not completely full-time. You are not committing your 5-year, 10-year, 20-year. But you are committing just the 1 year. You have already committed maybe 1 month, 6 months, 3 months. It is right time to go to the next level where you are committing 13 months. So most suitable for those people who are showing interest and doing some volunteer work, internship work, and someone who wants to switch. They are doing their work, and somewhere there is a desire to explore the development sector. There is a desire to go and understand the rural India. So these fellows, this fellowship is definitely meant for these two people.
Sure, sir. So after the selection process, there are question about the applications, as many people have joined who are also the applicants who have applied for the fellowship. So could you please guide us through the application process of the fellowship?
So we have kept the application process very simple. It is in two stages. Stage one is where you come to our website and start the application process, online application process. Once you submit it, we have internal screening process and a shortlisting committee. They go through your application, and based on your application, your responses, the few people will be shortlisted. And once you're shortlisted for interview, you will be called for in-person interview. So the personal interview is the stage two for us. Many of them has already completed the stage one, and they are waiting for the result. And in stage 2, where personal interview is being going to be conducted, this time we are having in-person physical interview, where we will conducting this interview across India in different cities. We are going to also share those details very shortly. The interview will happen in the month of June, somewhere from first week of June to last week of June, where we will cover and try to be in as many as city possible, but mostly as of now, what we are thinking that we will be going to at least 7 cities, covering different part of India. So if we summarize, it is two-stage application process. Stage 1, where you have to just submit the online application form. The last date for stage 1 is 21st of May, which is Tuesday, coming Tuesday. And stage 2 will be the in-person interview. And after stage 2, we will announce the result and we will invite them to join our fellowship, those people who are selected. And we have 2 cohort, and they have the option of joining in 2 cohort. First cohort starting first week of August, and second cohort is going to start in first week of October. Yeah.
So there are some questions regarding if an applicant has submitted the application and there is some errors while submitting, can they resubmit it, or is there any edit option in the application?
We understand that at times you miss something, and that's why when you are starting, you might see our message to go through your application carefully and check that no mistake is there, and complete the application only if you are very confident, and submit the application only if you have gone through the whole entry carefully, and then only submit it. Once submitted, we are going to freeze your application, and no more change is required, because please understand, your application will be assigned to a screening committee, shortlisting committee, and all those things. And since that process is on, in middle we can't allow anyone to change it. And that's why before submission, we will again encourage all of you to review every field, review every response, and submit it once you are confident on that front. Don't delay the submission, because 21st May is the last date. So if you need 1 hour, 2 hour, try to find these 1 or 2 hour in coming days. Mostly on, there is a weekend also. You can leverage the weekend as well.
Yes. So what are the do's and don'ts of applicants as per your suggestion?
So we already told, we are not looking at any particular skill set. What we have seen is the shortlisting committee and selection committee, they want to understand you. So if you are a candidate, the tips is very clear that the shortlisting committee, when they are going through your application form, or if you are going to be shortlisted for interview and you are appearing for the interview, they are going to ask question. The whole objective of asking these questions through application form or through this interview question is to understand you. What we believe is every person is having different capability and different skill set. What we are trying to do is understand whether we are fit for each other or not. And it's not someone is selected, someone is rejected. The way we are looking at whether we are aligned with each other. Every candidate has the potential of doing great work in their individual capacity. But even if we are good, great, whether we are compatible, where we are aligned, that's what we are trying to do through this selection process. And how we are going to do that once we are able to understand you completely. So please understand, the goal of application form is to understand you, who you really are. And that's why I will strongly encourage that be original. Be yourself, express yourself, try to express yourself wherever possible, and retain your originality. Okay, because once you do that, our committee member, they will be able to see who you are, and once they see who you are, then only they will be able to make decision very confidently. And that's why we also, I think there is a very clear instruction that please don't go for any AI tool, any chat GPT, because if you are going to ask the chat GPT to answer one particular question, what we have seen is the answer is almost same all the time, here and there and all those things. So just imagine, 12,000. Right now, I think we have close to 25,000 people answering the same question. The answer is same. It's not giving any insight about you in person. Okay, but if you are going to use your own response in your own language, whatever it is, please do that, because we are not going to select based on fluency of the English, or how flowery your language is, how sophisticated you are writing. That's not the criteria. Criteria is just to understand you, understand your thought. As long as you are able to express it, doesn't matter how good the language is. Important is to understand. So be original wherever possible. Be original wherever possible. Try to share more, because once you share, then only we will be able to understand. It's a very simple but very crucial tips. Unfortunately, you are spending 2-3 hours to submit the application, and unfortunately, our committee member, they are seeing that if you youth, they are losing this opportunity because they are using AI, or somewhere they are trying to give the right answer. Please understand, we are asking question. There is no right and wrong answer. Especially for essay question, there is no right and wrong answer. We are just trying to understand how you think, how what's your thought process, what you believe in. And once we know that, then only we will be able to take decision on the alignment front. So before we conclude, I think the only message is be original and express as much as you can.
So there are also questions regarding the language part.
Mhm.
As across India they have joined.
Mhm.
So can you please share that as well?
Correct. So as a fellowship, as a organization, we respect diversity, and we try to bring diverse set of fellow in our batch. So we encourage everyone, irrespective of their language, to apply for our fellowship. However, when it comes to reviewing the application, English is the primary language which we have kept, because there are so many people involved in our application process, in screening, shortlisting, interview, and to make it more consistent, we have kept English as a primary language. However, if English is writing response in English is a challenge, you can definitely take help of your friend, family, teacher, and something to express it. Please understand, we are not going to look at the kind of English you are using. As I said, we are going to just understand what you're trying to express. As long as you are able to express those thoughts in very simple English, that's completely acceptable. And in past, our fellow who are selected, they are fellow, who were not very comfortable with the English. They were not able to write it, but they took the help of their teacher, their senior, their family member, and just got it translated. So if you are going to think your response in Hindi, Telugu, Tamil, and you have to just get it translated, just take the help of someone to just get it translated and submit the application. Going forward, we are also exploring different technology which can meet there, where you can put the input in different language, and we are also going to have solution for our shortlisting committee. But that's the future plan. As of now, we are working on that. But as of now, English is the primary language which we are keeping, and I'm also providing you the solution so that you are not stuck because of language.
Yes. So I think it has answered many of the questions. So the other thing is like if they are studying and pursuing graduations and someone is working in a corporate or a development sector, so what is the criteria for them?
So the criteria remains same. The eligibility criteria is you should be a graduate. Now, if you're working, that's fine. If you have done graduation, you can apply. If you're not working, you have done graduation, you can apply. So on criteria front, there is no requirement of on the work experience front. Both fresher and work experience people are encouraged to apply. Almost, I would say the major chunk is we have equal kind of the representation from working professional and freshers. Sometimes working professional is slightly on the higher side, but as I said, we believe in diversity. There is no weightage as such, where we are not going to judge you if you're working or we are going fresher. Both of are acceptable, and we encourage both set of people to apply for this.
Thank you, sir. So regarding now we're going to recommendations, as I can see many questions on the recommendation front. So what if a candidate doesn't have a professional recommendation?
Yeah, so please, when it comes to recommendation and this recommendation part, we are asking for 2 recommendations, ideally one academic and one professional recommendation. But please understand, every time we review our process, that how we can make it better for the candidate while applying. So please go through the detailed instruction, or if you go to the recommendation page where you are filling the recommended detail, we have given a detailed instruction covering all scenario related to recommendation. We have also sent an email to our candidate who has started regarding the recommendation. To answer this question, that if you are a fresher and you don't have professional recommendation, in that case, you can take recommendation from the organization or someone where you have interned. If you have not done the internship also and you are a fresher, so you can take the recommendation from the organization or the person with whom you have volunteered. If you have not interned and volunteered, then you can also think of the professor under whom you have done any kind of project. So basically, when we are talking about the professional recommendation, ideally it can be your employer. But if that option is not available, then any person with whom you have worked in some capacity as an intern, as a volunteer, or as someone who is doing some academic project. So these 3 options are there. If you don't have any of these 3 also, in that case, don't worry, go ahead and give, instead of 1 academic recommendation, you can give 2 academic recommendations. But we will encourage you to explore, to give both 1 academic and 1 professional recommendation wherever possible. Because again, we are trying to understand you. So we will get 2 different set of recommendations, and that will give us more data to understand you. One is how you are doing and what is your style when it comes to working, and what is your style when it comes to learning, the whole study part. So there is a learning journey, there is a professional journey of working. So we are trying to understand how you behave in those ecosystems, and that's why we are looking for 2 recommendations. But that's not mandatory. That's ideal, and that's going to help you if you are going to provide. But if you are fresher and you're not having professional work experience, go for someone internship, volunteer, long-term project, short-term project, If none of these options are available, no worries. Submit another academic recommendation. Similarly, if you are working professional and you have done your, college long back, 5 year, 10 year back, in that case, and you don't have, you are out of touch with the college and the professor, and you are struggling to find the academic recommendation. In that case, you can give another second professional recommendation. Ideally, try to cover someone. If you are giving the professional experience from the current company, try to give the second professional experience recommendation from the other company if you have worked in more than one company, or some organization with whom you might have volunteered or interned. Try to bring diversity in recommendation, but if you're not able to do so, it is fine to give two academic recommendation or two professional recommendation. I hope I have answered the recommendation related question. If anything is confusing, I would recommend go through the instruction which we have written in the recommendation section, and that will answer every question. If not, please raise a ticket. Our team is here to help you in any application related queries.
Yes, sir. Most of the questions, the answers you have covered in the recommendation part. So now there are questions regarding many questions that come up, whether it will be as an employee, what is the work mode? So there is some confusion in that as well.
Correct. So first of all, this fellowship is not a job. I want to make it very clear that this fellowship is not a job. Here, there is no KRA, and here there is also, I have checked, people are also getting confused that whether I will get placement and all. So please, if you're looking for a job, then I believe this fellowship is not the right platform for you. Okay, this fellowship is to explore rural India and to explore development sector. Okay, so if that is something you are looking for, then definitely this platform is meant for you. But if you are looking for a job where you will get livelihood, then I think you can explore many other opportunities which are available in the market at this moment. Okay. Now, when it comes to fellow, once you join as a fellow, then you will be placed in a village across India. So one village will be assigned where our partner NGO, they are working there for last many years. So they have their strong presence, and we will send you to that particular village. You will spend first 2 months to understand people and place. And once you do that, you will be having brief understanding of the issues which they are facing, challenges which are prevalent there. And based on your interest area, you can choose one issue which is close to your heart and come up with some solution which will improve the situation on the ground, and start doing the project for remaining month. And our partner, they are going to mentor you, support you in your fellowship project. So it's a 13-month full-time commitment. You can't do it virtually. You can't do it, part-time. So it's a full-time commitment for 13 months, and you can't do it from any other city. There is a village which will be assigned after the selection process, and you will be staying in that particular village only for 13 months and doing the fellowship project for 13 months. Once you complete the fellowship, then you can come out of that particular village. So it's a 13-month full-time commitment where you will be staying in a village. I hope I have answered your question.
Yes, lots of reactions also coming. I think you have answered that. So now I think we can go for the interviews, how it will happen. So there is one question regarding, are international applicants eligible for, virtual interviews?
Correct. Yeah. So this time, because of COVID, we shifted to virtual interview, but there was a lot of request both from the candidate and the panelist also, that physical interview is more suitable, because the candidate who are coming, they get the chance to meet the team in person, interact with the Youth for India team in person, and also interact with the other candidate in person. And that gives you more confidence, because when you are applying, you are not very confident. You are, there are certain dilemma also, there are certain confusion also. So this time we shifted to in-person interview. So it's not going to be a virtual interview this time. So all those candidates who are going to be selected for the interview round, they are supposed to come to our interview center. We are going to give you the option. Most probably, we have the data from you where you are currently living. So based on your current location, which you have given your application form, we will see which center is closest to you. So we will assign those center which is closest to you, so that you can come to the center, participate in interview process, and also get a chance to interact with the Youth for India team and the other candidate in person, and clarify all your doubts in that particular part. For your travel, we are going to also offer the travel reimbursement. So kind of your travel will be taken care by us, which will, which we will share the further detail in your email, which you will be receiving if you are selected for interview. And for candidate who are from citizen of Nepal and Bhutan, and who are living outside India, just a second. For them, I think because it might be difficult for traveling, we will keep the virtual interview option for them. They can participate in virtual interview if they are outside the country. Right now, we are not having interview center in different country. This year, we are not having that option. So those people who are outside India, they can participate in interview virtually, and we will inform them about the date and time.
So, and also a request to all the viewers. This call is basically for to give an understanding of the application process. I can see lots of questions regarding post fellowship. So you can ask. Also, we'll try to answer that one by one. But if you have any questions regarding applications, we are ready to answer. So regarding, there is one question regarding the project locations. So whether they will be choosing, what is the criteria on that?
We give freedom to choose the thematic area, but when it comes to project location, what we feel is all of us, our partner NGO, SBI Foundation, and you, and the fellow, all of us are here because somewhere we want to work with the community. Okay, so what we do is we try to understand your interest area, whether you are interested in health, livelihood, which thematic area, and based on your interest area, the kind of support you will be needing during the fellowship, we map it with our partner NGO and the need of the community on the ground, and based on that, there is a proper structured way of mapping different parameter and deciding the project location. So project location, generally we assign we assign the partner NGO, we assign the project location to you, but we also do so after taking the input from you, that okay, what kind of work you are thinking of doing, what kind of thematic area you are interested in. Once we collect that data, based on that, we do the internal exercise to identify the right NGO, right village, where you will be able to, have better fellowship journey. So we do so. So you can't choose the project location, but please understand, our fellows, we have seen initially that's one question, but once they start the fellowship, they love the village, the location, the people. So that becomes very irrelevant part in long run, that whether you are going to some location or not, because there is a need of fellow in every village where we are working, and all of us is ready to go anywhere where I'm required. So that's the thought process, that's the passion you should carry when you are applying for this fellowship. Yeah. And as a rule, we don't allocate the native state. So if you're from Maharashtra, you can't be assigned to a project location in Maharashtra. So like that, native state is not allowed. We are going to assign you some location which is going to be far away from the Maharashtra. But please understand, everywhere, wherever our fellows are placed, we have very strong support system, ecosystem, and our fellow, they are going and they are working there for last 13 years. You can think 13 years. So we have established system in place, and you don't have to worry on that front. Yeah.
Yes. Sir, I think we are going to, 40 minutes have happened to the webinar. So just closing remarks on just some few questions regarding in the chat. Um, can the, while working, whether they can pursue the fellowship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So while working, as I said, this is full-time commitment. You are supposed to live in village and spend time and work with the community. So it's a full-time commitment. So you can't, and we want our, because we get a lot of application every year. So we want, and everyone is are there with the community and try to do that. So we want to encourage our fellow to give their 100%. And if you are working parallelly, somewhere it is unfair to the community, because they deserve your full-time attention. And that's why we discourage those kind of engagement. Once you are in a village, you are working on a fellowship project, you are spending time with the community, you are supposed to give it 100% on time, commitment, and effort front. So you can't have parallel work commitment during the fellowship. You can put it on hold. So someone who is working, they can go for sabbatical and take the permission for this 13 months, come do the fellowship, and then again go back and join the company. So putting work commitment on hold, that will be required if you are a working professional when you are joining this fellowship. And in past, as I said, around 50-60% of our fellow, uh, they were working professional. So depending on what is suited for their personal choice, a few of them, they came on sabbatical, a few of them, they left their job and then joined the fellowship and completed the fellowship, and then took different direction after the fellowship. Few of them, they went back, few of them, they continued. 70% of our alumni, they continued in development sector after the fellowship. We are going to have another round of webinar, because I can see many questions related to post fellowship career, what will happen after fellowship, and what kind of opportunities are there after fellowship. And there are certain dilemma related to parents, they are not ready, and there are certain dilemma related to career choices, career path. I think we are going to cover them. Those are important questions and that needs to be answered. So we are going to have another session on Saturday, where we are going to answer all those questions, which is beyond the application process or interview and online application. We are definitely going to answer all of them in our next session. You can go through our FAQ on our website. We have a FAQ section. We try to answer all such questions there also. But if you have any more question beyond those which has been answered in FAQ, please do join our online session on the Saturday, this coming Saturday.
Yes. So yes, I think we have answered most of your questions regarding applications. As sir said, please put up your questions in the FAQ, and also you can follow us on our social media platforms to get more update on the application front. And with this, we have come to the end of our webinar on the SBI Fellowship application process. A huge thank to Sir, Mr. Gyan Prakash, for sharing his valuable insights. And thank you to all of you for joining us today. Again, if you have any questions, you can also drop us an email at applications@youthforindia.org. We'll drop you in the text as well. So thank you again for joining. Hope to see you all in the interview.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And my team has told that a few of you have started and about to complete the application and have not submitted it. I was a fellow. I was in 2015. I was at the same position. I was also applying for SBI Youth for India Fellowship, and I decided to leave my job and do the fellowship. But when I was filling the form, I think that doubt was there whether I should submit it, I should not. What I would say is, by submitting, you are not, taking a call. This is just the first step. I think you should submit right away, and then come for interview also, because in interview, once you talk and interact more, you will get more clarity. So if you are submitting it today or maybe before 21st, it doesn't mean that you are deciding what you are going to do with your career. This is one step, and the actual decision will come later point of time. Once you are selected and we have offered you the fellowship, then obviously there will be a time where you have to decide. But till that, we do have time, and this decision is definitely not an easy decision for anyone. But submitting, that decision is very easy. You submit, it is not going to change their life. Okay, so go give your 100% when it comes to application, and express yourself, be original while submitting it. And 21st May is the last day, so don't wait till Tuesday. I would request and suggest and recommend very strongly that submit it on this weekend. You will get some free time there. And our application process is on rolling basis. It means those people who has already submitted their application in April month, and their application is already being reviewed. And I think for few of them, it has been already reviewed, and we know they are going to be invited for the interview. So they will be receiving email also. So if you submit early, you will get this decision and communication early also. So everything is happening on rolling basis. So submit early so that you also get the clarity what is happening to your application. Be original and express yourself. That would be my recommendation. We are looking forward to knowing you better. Yeah. Happy filling the form. Best of luck.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.